Hey, James Franco and crumbs of panko. It's time for the show! Hey everybody, my name is Jon and welcome to ADITW, A Day in the Word, the internet's favorite Bible study. Last week we started a brand new series in the book of Ruth, and this week we're gonna continue that series. Let's open up some truth. Let's start by reading Ruth chapter 2, verses 1 through 13. So the last time we saw Ruth and Naomi, they had just lost their husbands and they had moved back to Jerusalem to sort of start over. And here at the beginning of this chapter, Ruth goes out to collect some of the leftovers from the harvesters in the field. And the field that she enters into just so happens to be owned by one of Naomi's relatives, a man named Boaz. And so Boaz, he sees Ruth following the harvesters and he asks his workers about her. And when Boaz finds out who she is, his heart goes out to her. And he goes and he tells Ruth that she no longer has to follow behind everyone else, but she can work alongside the women and that she can have as much water and as much food as she would like. Now Ruth is absolutely floored by this kindness, and she says in verse 10, "Why have I found such favor in your eyes that you notice me, a foreigner?" And reading Ruth asking that question made me wonder, what foreigners or outsiders can I bless today in my life by showing them favor? We all know what it feels like to feel left out or cast aside or to be an outsider. But the God we worship, it's the same God that Boaz worships. And he's the God that tells us to notice the foreigner. He calls us to care for the cast aside and to love the outsiders of this world. Maybe take a moment right now with your journal and reflect on who are the outsiders in your life. And take some time to think about how you can share God's love with them by showing them favor today. And then I want you to read the rest of the chapter. Now let's read Ruth chapter 2, verses 14 through 23. So Ruth has this amazing day in the field where she meets this amazing man named Boaz. And so Ruth goes home with arms full of food that Boaz has given her, and she gives it to Naomi, and she tells Naomi about this incredible man. And Naomi is incredibly touched by this. She says in verse 20, "The Lord bless him. He has not stopped showing kindness to the living and the dead." She added, "That man is our close relative. He is one of our guardian redeemers." Now I want to take a second to unpack this title, Guardian Redeemer. You see, in ancient times, this was a title or a name given to a relative who came to the aid of a family member who was in desperate need of help. This could be for a number of reasons, because of hard financial times, because of a sickness that has come into your family, or in Ruth and Naomi's case, because of loss. And the job of the Guardian Redeemer was to provide help and hope to his or her family members in their time of need. Now here is why I find this Guardian Redeemer stuff so interesting. Because I don't know about you, but to me, the Bible makes it clear that we are all children of God. So therefore, I have to conclude that we are all a part of God's family. Wait for it. So that would mean then that not only do we have an opportunity to be this Guardian Redeemer to those in our immediate family, but also we are called to provide help and hope to our brothers and sisters in Christ when they are facing a time of need. You see, Jesus came to unite all people as one in God's family. And so as his followers, as his church, we are called to come to the aid and come alongside those members of the family who are struggling. So why don't you take your journal and maybe right alongside or right underneath where you wrote about the foreigners and the outsiders in your life, why don't you take some time to reflect on who in your life, who around you right now, what brother and sister in Christ might need you as a guardian redeemer. This week, I want to encourage all of us to pray for the foreigners and the outsiders in our lives. I encourage you to pray and to ask God to help you to come to their aid, to come alongside of them, and to maybe even be their guardian redeemer. Thanks y'all so much for watching another episode of ADITW. I hope that you are enjoying this study of Ruth. I can't believe it. We're already halfway done. Short book, but hopefully effective. A blessing, I hope. Couple of announcements before we finish up. Number one, the Keep Being Awesome shirts are almost completely out of stock. We are almost totally sold out, so make sure to visit the description down below and claim yours today. Also, many of you have been asking, and yes, I still do spoken word on this channel. In fact, I have a brand new one coming out this Friday. I'm real excited about it. I hope you're real excited about it as well, because I think it's real good. I'm also real humble. I also real love you all. Keep being awesome.